Good morning, friends. This is your old girl, Melanie Rose, here to share your daily aspects. Today is Wednesday, November 17, 2021. I'd like to wish a very happy birthday to my own sweet mudda, Bobby Sue. I love you, Mom. I miss you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. The sun is in Scorpio through this Sunday when it makes ingress to Sagittarius. This transition represents a shift in our outer life, that is, who we are in our social, civic, and work spheres, from a fixed, stable, watery energy to a mutable, changeable, and fiery energy, from the realm of dearly held desires and connections to the realm of the community. These last few days, as we look back on the sun's transit through the sign of Scorpio and acknowledge the transformations we have invited from within, we also begin to feel the pull to be present and part of something greater than ourselves. This is a moment of overlap. It shows us that these dualities, water and fire, internal and external, fixed and mutable, these dualities don't exist independently, nor do they exclude one another. They create and complement one another, and indeed, we can't bring our big hearts to the world at large without first having gone within and made them big hearts. The moon is in Taurus all day today. Taurus invites us to slow our pace and sink our toes into the dirt, enjoying the sensual comforts of home. The full moon is just a couple of days away now, and this waxing gibbous energy calls upon us to focus our power toward the achievement of our goals. Focus your power. Let's take a look at these planets and aspects before we get into any further interpretation. I have prepared a legend of the symbols we'll be looking at today, so we can start out with an idea of some of the energies we'll be working with. Here we have the sun. The sun represents our outer life. That's the person people meet when they meet us for the first time. It's also who we are when we're out in the civic sphere, the social or work environment. Our outer life is the person we are on the outside. The moon here represents our inner life. That is your relationship with yourself. It's how we feel and how we intuit the things that we know. It also relates to our domestic realm, so where we are at home, who is at home with us, and who we are when we're at home. That's the inner life, or the moon. Mars is present today. Mars is our personal sense of initiative, our fire, or our drive. Uranus is present. Uranus encourages us to do things differently, so it often brings about changes. They're generally the kind of changes that we make on a day-to-day basis just to sort of smooth out the way our days go. Venus is present. Venus relates to love and money, or in other words, how do you relate to those things and people that you value the most? And Chiron is here as well. Chiron represents how to heal. Pluto represents rebirth, endings and beginnings, the extreme ends of things, the depths of things. And Saturn is here. Saturn represents the structures that we build to support ourselves and our responsibility to be good stewards of those structures. As for the aspects or energies we will encounter today, we have a couple of squares on the board. Square represents challenges. Generally, these are the kind of small challenges that we can just sort of take a deep breath, notice that we're having a challenge, and move on through it. Sextile is a positive energy, and it's cooperative. So when these planets make aspect to each other, cooperation makes things happen. They're likely to generate something good. This little symbol is an opposition. Opposition represents the potential for conflict and or an opportunity to find the balance in a situation. Trine is a very positive aspect. even harmonious. This is probably the best that those two planets can possibly get together. So it pretty much guarantees good outcomes. And then this one is a conjunct. Conjunct amplifies the effects of both planets involved. So you can just have a more powerful experience when two planets go conjunct together. And as for the signs that we mentioned on the board today, Scorpio, the sun is in Scorpio here, which is ruled by Pluto, and the moon is in Taurus here, which is ruled by Venus. We also down here have the sun moving into Sagittarius. That's this Sunday. And Sagittarius is ruled, I believe, by, Jupiter? I probably said that wrong, but we'll come back to it. I have divided our aspects into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon sheds light on our nights, and it moves very quickly, creating many brief aspects that represent ambient energies that may produce moods and other internal experiences for us throughout the course of a day. The sun sheds light on our days, and I address the rest of the planets on this side because these aspects take longer and they have more of an impact on our actions and interactions out in the world. We start with the sun today in our ongoing column. Today is day 3 of 4 for Venus square Chiron. When Venus is in aspect with our natal Chiron, we are asked whether our approaches to relating are altogether well. Is there healing to be done among loved ones? Does someone's approach to managing their finances need a little help? It's worthwhile to notice these misalignments while understanding that true healing may be difficult during this square aspect. Day 3 of 4. Notice what needs healing, especially when it comes to the way you relate to those people and things that you value the most. Just notice what needs healing there. You don't have to do the work right away. Knowing is half the battle, right? Or so G.I. Joe told me. 3 of 4. Okay. And then today is also day 2 of 2 for Sun sextile Pluto. This is a positive and generative aspect that comes around twice a year. We feel more of a need to achieve successes, and we may find ourselves feeling more determined than usual with our goals in sight. If we have a hard task ahead of us, we will find the drive it takes to finish. Astrology King says, this especially applies to anything which has broken down or is no longer of use in your life, from a messy room to a bad habit. If we haven't been clear about our immediate goals, this energy is now bringing about that clarity. So again, this is sort of showing us where our goals are leading us in a positive and generative sense. As for today, I give these aspects in Central Standard Time. And at 11:23 a.m., the moon runs in opposition to Uranus. Mars runs in opposition to Uranus. When Mars and Uranus make aspects together, we feel inspired to act on a new or different idea, possibly one that came from some member of our community. Opposition tends to bring about conflict. And with Mars involved, this may be a frustrated or angry response to someone or something that appears to slow us down or get in our way. Sometimes people will try to convince us that our fabulous new and different idea isn't realistic. Sometimes we will come to that conclusion on our own, or otherwise, we will have to carry out our intentions without feeling a lot of support from the people around us. This lasts about 4 days. Do something different? Probably little support. Which is to say, you know, if you feel that urge to do something different, you can. Just understand that you might not find a lot of support. In fact, you might get some pushback from the people around you. Okay, on the moon side, my goal here is always to give brief descriptions of these aspects and then sort of try to tie them together in sort of a today in Moony Moods to see what the general vibe is for the day. So today at 12:19 p.m. around lunchtime, the moon runs square to Saturn. This is a difficult aspect as it can have a depressing effect on the heart and home. We feel restricted or repressed. We may have trouble connecting with others. Melanie needs to slow down. Okay. So just a downing effect on the heart and home. Restriction. This is a feeling of restriction, not an actual restriction, okay? And that's a 2-hour aspect. And then this evening at 6:39 p.m., the moon makes a trine with Venus. And as opposed to the moon's square with Saturn, the trine with Venus is a really beautiful aspect that indicates very positive feelings in the heart and home, and especially with our lovers and our closest domestic partners. So, good feelings at home. 2 hours. And then at 8:44 p.m., the moon makes a conjunct with Uranus. This aspect makes our hearts impulsive, seeking different ways of approaching our heart and home. Notice up here we've got some impulsive behavior on the menu, and then down here we've also got some impulsive behavior in our hearts and homes. So conjunct amplifies the effects of both of these bodies, especially Uranus, because it's in 2 places here. So emotions can run high. This is also a 2-hour aspect. Impulsivity up. Emotions up. And then tonight at 9:20 p.m., the moon runs in opposition to Mars. Mood swing, I can't let you win. You bring me up, you bring me down. This is the aspect that makes mountains out of molehills, specifically in our inner life. 2 hours. Is that a mountain? Or is it a molehill? Today's lunar energy then is one of emotional highs and lows. In both modes, we're keenly aware of how we feel and what the behavior is of those people we keep close. So let's, be gentle with ourselves today, and let's be gentle with others as well. In the heart and home. Be careful as you swing back and forth. Coming up this Friday, we will see a full moon in Taurus. Saturday will bring our lunar apogee, which comes around once a month, making us more susceptible to the moon's influence in our lives. And on Sunday, the sun will make ingress into Sagittarius. And we will talk about these things and more in upcoming episodes. That's it for today, friends. This has been your Daily Aspects, an astrological weather forecast for Wednesday, November 17, 2021. If you haven't already, please like my video and subscribe to the Old Girl channel. I will leave this up here for about 30 seconds so that you can have time to look it over. Thank you so much for being here with me today. My name is Melanie Rose, and I will see you all back here tomorrow for more daily aspects.